Hey guys, how's it going? I am WWE Hall of Famer Lita, welcoming you to General Admission Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rookie of the Year. It is the final day of competition, at least in the group stages, and so much has still to be determined. We will see 5 matches tonight, all of which will have direct effects on what happens in the standings going into the single elimination round. Just a reminder, numbers 1 through 7 in the final standings will go through automatically. Numbers 8, 9, and 10 will go into a 3-way dance elimination match. The winner will get the final spot. Numbers 11 and 12 will be eliminated. Everyone, potentially everyone, is available to go to almost any slot. Takahashi has not clinched first place, and Dr. Plague has not clinched last place. So there is so much to come on this episode of Rookie of the Year, plus a very special message from a GAW legend coming after the competition is over. We begin with Ryan Skinner, who has won 6 matches on the trot. He is the hottest man in Rookie of the Year right now. And if he can make it 7, well, the sky's the limit.
I'm a shadow of the man I was before. I'm a dead man walking before I die. I'll take every soul I can.
Meanwhile, Dash Foley potentially fighting for his life here. He right now has sole control of 8th place, sitting there with 12 points. He's put up a 4-5 record so far. So Raymond Church, Franky Omega Jr., and Wolf Stormsong are all within reach of Foley. But then again, so is Dorian Wayne Bush, who is sitting in 9th with 9 points. So this is a crucial match for Foley. Should he win, he will put himself in great position to earn automatic qualification. He just needs a loss from Stormsong, Omega, or Church. Should he lose, he will officially be in the 3-way dance. As I said, this is just the first of 5 matches that we are going to show you tonight, all with massive implications. In the main event, it will be Franky Omega Jr. versus Takahashi. A rematch of Franky's GAW debut, a contest that he cheated in to defeat Takahashi on that occasion. So you think that the man in first place will want revenge in that match? That'll be in the main event. Wolf Stormsong versus Dorian Wayne Bush. 2 men fighting for their lives as well, especially Dorian. If things don't go his way today, he might not even make the single elimination round. The man who's pulled 2 of the biggest upsets of this tournament. He might not even make it far enough to pull another one. Dash Foley fighting to try to get into the single elimination round as well. He pulled a massive upset over Adonis Carter a few weeks ago. That's what's kept him alive in this contest. Now, Foley with a triangle choke from behind. He's got Skinner's arm pulled back, but Skinner so strong in the core and the upper body. Look at him, he can just flip it over. Dash Foley is a big man, and Skinner just controlled the body weight, and now Skinner raining shots down from the top mount position. The big difference for Ryan Skinner, of course, has been him leaning into that underground style. He has become so versatile, really leaned into it, covering a kick out from Foley. That was the issue in the first 4 weeks of the competition for Skinner. Not so in his 6 straight wins. Should he make it 7 here, he would probably be the most feared man in the single elimination stage. I don't think even Takahashi would want a piece of him. Skinner fires back against Foley. And on the outside, Skinner taking advantage. This is such a great night, and we are less than a week away from Battle at Broadway. We are on the journey to New York. I'm told that many of the rookies will actually be heading to the Manhattan Center after this match is done. They'll get to train with some of the Evolution guys and then watch the show as it transpires next week. Look at this. Ryan Skinner, oh my God, what a bulldog.
6.
I thought he was looking for that unprettier, but he just mashed Dash Foley with that bulldog. Now this is an underground wrestler right here, Ryan Skinner. We'll be seeing an underground match at Battle at Broadway. Braddock will take on Garrett Gibson. They can learn a couple things from Ryan Skinner's approach here. Foley with a slam on the outside. And Dash Foley repaying Skinner in kind. At the count of 10, these guys might want to think about getting back into the ring. Foley does. Skinner playing some mind games. Back in he goes. Now out, breaks the count. Foley catches him right in the leg, and Foley once again in that slam position. Foley drops him on the apron. Boy, this is getting violent here, this contest. Even though Ryan Skinner doesn't have a lot to play for, the 6 straight wins have guaranteed him a spot, at least in the single elimination. You can tell he wants a statement. He wants that 7th straight. Dash Foley just wants in. In terms of the men Foley is trying to catch, I mentioned Franky Omega will be taking on Takahashi. Wolf Stormsong will be taking on Dorian Bush. Raymond Church will be battling Dr. Plague. We'll see highlights of that match coming up later. Back into the ring, Skinner, skinned alive! That is how fast Ryan Skinner is, but Foley so tall, so long, that Skinner has to drag him away from the ropes. Could that play a factor here for Dash Foley? Skinner makes the cover, no! And it was crucial. But Skinner not gonna stop there. Wasteland drop. That combination has been deadly in the past for Skinner. Hooks the leg. Ryan Skinner has won 7 straight. This turnaround is unbelievable. There was a time where people were worried that Skinner wouldn't even make the single elimination round. Today, Skinner could finish as high as 2nd place, depending on the results. This man is truly unbelievable. Am I worried about my match against Dorian? Sure. You've seen what that guy can do. You've seen the type of men that he's beaten. You've seen what he's capable of. So I would never be so arrogant as to think I could walk in there and just blow him out of the water with no competition. Absolutely not. However, it is worth noting that even though he has done the unthinkable against the men like Adonis Carter, he's also lost to a lot of opponents that it feels like he should have beaten. So which Dorian Bush is showing up today? That's the question. And Dorian, I don't think even you know. I think you're sitting there back in the locker room. I think you're wondering which version of me is showing up. And that's when you lose. As soon as you don't know who you're going to be when you step in the ring, that's when it's over for you. Because I know what I'm going to do. I know who I'm going to be. And like me or not, I know that I'm going to be Wolf Stormsong. So if I play my game, I know I can win. And that's something that Dorian just can't guarantee right now.
Took your heart, did things to you only lovers would do in the dark. Made God.
We'll hear from Dorian Bush a little later about that match, but that might be the match with the most implications, certainly depending on the results here. Chris Alexa currently sits in 11th place with 6 points on a 2-7 record. He is losing the tiebreak as it stands to Marlon Wright. Wright defeated him in the first week of competition. So if results hold, if everyone stays in the same place, Marlon Wright would get the 10th spot in the three-way dance. However, Chris Alexa with a win, he could very well automatically punch his ticket. It'll obviously depend on results. It'll depend on the Marlon Wright result. It'll depend on the Dorian Bush result, of course. But Chris Alexa, he can make waves here, and he will need to, because he is going against one of the most dangerous men in this competition, and a man who will not blink an eye in ending Alexa's tournament. Redgrave is absolutely ruthless. That we know as much. So he would not bat an eye at destroying Alexa and ending his tournament right here. Redgrave, of course, is safe in the single elimination round, but with Skinner picking up his win earlier, Leon Redgrave, in order to keep pace and get that third spot, will need to win this match. It's a lot to ask, because Chris Alexa, his tournament might be on the line right here. Leon Redgrave has nothing to play for, but don't tell him. I don't think that'll affect his game at all. So Chris Alexa, if you thought that maybe you'd be getting a Redgrave that is sort of resting here, so to speak, I don't think it's gonna happen. Oh my God! That's exactly what I meant. Alexa might be out already, able to get to his feet. What a knee, but he didn't even take Redgrave down. This man is a machine as a striker. Learned in the streets of Birmingham. And I'll tell you what, they do not put boxing gloves on in the streets of Birmingham, I can tell you that. So Redgrave, nose is a little crooked, those cheeks not exactly even. This is a tough SOB. Sends Alexa over the top. And Alexa, right now, he's got to be questioning. He's got to be thinking. And Redgrave, that might be going through his mind as well. Let me let this guy think about it, because this might be his tournament right here. If Alexa loses, he's done. There are no results that can put Alexa into the single elimination stage, at least in the three-way dance, because Marlon Wright then would hold the tiebreaker either way. So the only potential question for Alexa is depending on results. If Dr. Plague is to beat Raymond Church, then oh my God, Leon Redgrave's gonna fly. Jeez, this man is a maniac. So if Dr. Plague defeats Raymond Church, then that will give, and Marlon Wright loses later on, then that will give Wright, Alexa, and Plague, all three of them with 6 points. Alexa holds the tiebreaker over Dr. Plague, as does Marlon Wright. So we'd have to do the calculations on it to figure out exactly who would get out. But what I do know is that for Alexa, he just needs to win here. He's just got to have the win, and then hope that Marlon Wright loses later on. Wright will be taking on Adonis Carter coming up, so Alexa's got to be thinking that he at least has a chance if he wins. Oh! If he wins here, Wright is going to struggle against Adonis. So Alexa, oh, that was one too many strikes. You do not want to get in that battle with Leon Redgrave. Redgrave powerbomb, Alexa came up over the top. Redgrave is looking for the London Bridge. Alexa, no! Alexa might have seen his tournament right there, but he certainly could see it here. This has been the death of him in the past, but it's how he beat Dr. Plague. Redgrave drops to a knee. Alexa elected to go for the spear, but Redgrave ducked underneath. Alexa, I think, was going to try to hit him on the reverse. Redgrave ducked underneath, but Alexa takes him down with the lariat. Do you think this man wants that 10th spot? It doesn't matter what the odds are for Chris Alexa to win this whole thing. It doesn't matter. Alexa is about to give everything he has against Leon Redgrave, and maybe Redgrave wasn't prepared for it. Alexa's gonna fly with the elbow drop, and Chris Alexa hooks the leg. Alexa, he's got him. Chris Alexa has pulled the upset. His back was against the wall, and Chris Alexa pulled the upset. It is unbelievable. Chris Alexa, against all odds, has just beaten Leon Redgrave. And Alexa, barring another miracle later, will be in the three-way dance. This is unreal. Lance, I'm glad to see you made it out here for this episode, pal. Satan, I come out for every episode. Yeah, I know. But look, I'm glad to see you. I want to talk. So, I mean, that thing that you and I have discussed before, it's looking pretty good, don't you think? Look, Satan, I think there's a lot of merit in what you're saying. There's a lot of guys from that class that were just phenomenal, and we see Takahashi, we see Adonis Carter. I mean, those guys are just phenomenal wrestlers. But I don't know if anybody, including yourself, can actually get all those guys on the same page. Well, Lance, I'm going to tell you something here, brother. When I was growing up, there were two kids in my neighborhood. They were a little bit older than me. And these two, well, they hated each other. And one day I was about 12 years old, and these kids were probably 17, 18, and they came out, they were strapped up, they were ready to put their lives on the line right there, Lance. I went up to them, I talked to them for about 2.5 minutes, and those dudes, they opened up a hardware store together 6 months from that day. So Lance, don't ever underestimate my ability to get men on the same page. That's what I was blessed with. Like my young buck Adonis Carter was blessed with athleticism you could only get from God himself. Mr. Satan Cedric was blessed with the ability to get men on the same page. So Lance, I'm asking you, as a man who has been around those 5 guys this entire time, what do you see? Do you believe that we are looking at future champions? Well, it's hard to say, but if I had to hazard a guess, I would say you're looking at 5 guys that could potentially be champions one day. I really do. That is what I like to hear, Lance. So, what I want you to do is I want you to keep doing your thing, keep coaching those boys, keep teaching those boys. I know they respond to you. I know that they appreciate your instruction. But what I want you to do is I want you to let them know that in GAW, in Evolution, sometimes you're better together. You know that, I know that, and these young men should learn that. I understand that everyone's fighting each other right now, but Lance, you know and I know that the GAW Academy has produced the greatest wrestlers on earth. GAW needs its academy to be successful. So you got to tell those boys that while you're fighting each other now, it's like brothers fighting brothers. When you're done, you come back home and you represent the GAW Academy. Are we in agreement, Lance? Satan, I don't always agree with your methods, but you're absolutely right. The GAW Academy is the lifeblood of general admission wrestling. I think you've got yourself a winner. I'm not even going to try to approach Satin Cedric about what he might have been telling Lance Storm about just a moment ago when we saw him. But I don't particularly want to know, if I'm being honest with you. Marlon Wright just witnessed the absolute worst result that he could ever have asked for, watching Chris Alexa upset Leon Redgrave. And in the fashion he did it. I mean, Marlon Wright, he may look confident now, and you got to appreciate the composure of a young man, but he has just got to be burning up inside.
Them bad, cause I be killing it. Playing around with them bad, cause I be killing it. I don't think I understand, cause I be killing it. I take your girl, cause I be killing it. Pocket full of them bad, cause I be killing it. I be killing it. Playing around with them bad, cause I be killing it.
No Satin Cedric out with Adonis Carter. I wonder if that has anything to do with what we just saw backstage. Cedric talking with Lance Storm. It seems like Cedric has more things going on right now than just Adonis Carter's result in this match. And granted, Carter now is in the driver's seat. He has obviously clinched a spot in the single elimination round. After the Skinner result, and after the Redgrave result, Carter basically clinched second place. The only thing that's left for young Adonis is if he wins here and Takahashi loses later on, Adonis Carter will become the first place, the number one seed. Meanwhile, Marlon Wright just watched potentially his tournament go up in flames. Chris Alexa has officially clinched a spot in the three-way dance. He holds the tiebreaker against Dorian Bush, who he has just tied on points. Obviously, we'll see Bush later on. Carter, he got busted open by Marlon Wright elbow. You can see Wright is going after Carter right now. And Carter, he needs to answer in kind. He does. Seated moonsault press. Are you serious? That's the athletic prowess of Adonis Carter, but Wright, he knows how important it was to kick out of that. If Carter loses, or if Wright loses here, he is done. His tournament is over. So this is the must-win match for Marlon Wright. But if he does win, he holds the tiebreaker over Chris Alexa. He has not fought Dorian Bush yet in this tournament. So we will have to go to our rules adjusters and figure out exactly what we're going to do. Carter, just vicious from Adonis Carter. He uses his quickness not only in his speed, but also in his striking. He's so fast. And now Wright, he fanned on the right. And now Adonis Carter goes to work. Sorry, buddy. Adonis Carter with a spinning heel kick. He planted it right between the eyes of Marlon Wright. Carter has to drag him away from the ropes. Wright has long arms. He could have reached. Carter drags him away. Carter hooks the leg. Adonis Carter has ended Marlon Wright's Rookie of the Year tournament. And you hate to see it happen that way. But Adonis Carter is just unstoppable. The second hottest man in this tournament next to Ryan Skinner. Carter, no Satin Cedric, no problem. And Marlon Wright, his tournament is over. Marlon, you did a fantastic job, kid. And I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of him in the future. But Chris Alexa, credit to him. He pulled the biggest upset of this tournament and the most important one. Alexa's moving on. Yeah, I'm in. I was watching, and I know I'm in. But honestly, this match, it's not really about that. It's not about whether I'm in or not. It's about getting myself back onto the track that I need to be. I know the coaches were telling me during the lead up to this tournament, we were training, and they were telling me that you are a top 5 guy. You deserve automatic qualification at the very least. You could be in the mix for number 1, and I haven't done any of that. I have disappointed myself more than anything else. So this match is just about that. I understand that I don't really have much to play for at the moment, but it's my pride on the line, and I don't care about seeding. I don't care about a 3-way dance. I don't care about any of that. As long as my pride, as long as it's in jeopardy in this match, I will fight to the death, Wolf. So you want to say that I don't know which version of Dorian Bush is coming tonight? I know what version it is. I know it's the version that's going to rip your head off just to get my pride back. Stormsong is the first of the 3 men who are sitting on 15 points at the moment to compete here tonight. Franky Omega Jr., Raymond Church, their matches are still to come. But as far as Wolf Stormsong is concerned, that 8th position now no longer within reach. It's now no longer a danger because of the Dash Foley loss earlier. So now you've got Leon Redgrave sitting up in 4th with 18 points. So for all 3 of those guys I just mentioned, 4th place is potentially within reach depending on results and depending on the tiebreakers. So we will have to see. But Wolf Stormsong will be taking on a Dorian Bush who, as we just heard from him, he is no longer in danger of missing entirely now. He is certainly in the 3-way dance. That much is known for Dorian.
You think you still can take advantage, and you always took my humbleness for granted. But I know my worth, you can't take that away from me. And I know you think you still can take advantage, but it hasn't worked out like you fucking planned it. 'Cause I know my worth, you can't take that away from me.
As we heard from Dorian himself, this match is still vitally important, at least to him, to try to get back on track, because he's absolutely right. He is a guy that a lot of people thought could surprise people. I mean, Yuji Nagata, Blue Justice himself, said that he wouldn't be surprised if Dorian runs the tables here and wins this competition. He obviously hasn't lived up to that. So as far as he is concerned, getting the win here against Stormsong at least is a chance at redemption and could move up to tie Dash Foley on 12 points. Stormsong, oh, he jumped right over Dorian. Dorian saw him going for the Escalera, came right underneath it. Dorian with a Kamagoye. This is a match I've actually been looking forward to for a long time. These guys have very similar styles. Wolf has obviously been a little bit more successful, but Dorian Bush has put up the biggest wins of the two. Most notably defeating Adonis Carter. That might be the biggest upset of the tournament so far. Adonis, we saw just wax Marlon Wright earlier. Ended Marlon Wright's tournament. Dorian gonna take to the skies again. Springboard moonsault. Stormsong saw it coming all the way. Stormsong going for that classic fisherman's brain buster. He has made such great use of that, but Dorian powers out before the count of 1. More incoming short arm. forearm from Stormsong, but Dorian right back to his feet, showing the toughness. And by the way, as far as the two teams are concerned, they came in here today with identical records. Oh my God, Dorian just turned Stormsong inside out with the clothesline, hooks the leg. Dorian's just finished it off. So at least Dorian can move up into a tie with Dash Foley at 12 points should he win here against Stormsong. Both of their positions in terms of whether they're going to be in the three-way dance or not are safe. Dorian absolutely will be. Wolf Stormsong will not be, regardless of results still to come. We've got, of course, the main event, Franky Omega Jr. against Takahashi. That is still on the way. And of course, coming up next, we will show you highlights of Raymond Church versus Dr. Plague. So all three men with 15 points fighting back to back to back. And Franky Omega Jr. will have the benefit of going last of all of them, so he will know the stakes going up against Takahashi. And in terms of the team record, let's not forget, I mean, there's a lot of bragging rights on the line here with Eddie Hernandez and Kurt Andrews. They came into this day identical records, 27 and 27. And that was after Team Andrews got off to a very poor start in the first half of this competition. I'm told that both team captains are backstage, so maybe we'll get to hear from them about the records. And of course, we know that Andrews has extended what I think is a serious challenge. Should Andrews win the Apex title at Battle of Broadway, and should a member of Team Eddie Hernandez win Rookie of the Year, Kurt Andrews is promised a title shot. Dorian Bush with a stomp as he tied up Stormsong. And again, going after the legs, ties him up once again. Now Bush, look at this. That is nasty as he's wrenching back on the legs. He couldn't hold that for very long, but it does the damage well enough. Dorian putting on some serious attacks on Stormsong. He's definitely coming out like a man who had damaged pride coming in, and he wants a win desperately in this match. That is certainly the case. Neckbreaker jumped over the top. Stormsong kicks out. The seating does matter, by the way, when you get down into that 7th place area. Beautiful neckbreaker from Dorian. Because if you're in 7th place, that means you will either get Adonis Carter or Takahashi. So that is not a place you want to be in to start. Beautiful kick off the top from Dorian. He came soaring down. Kicks Stormsong right in the chest. Now Dorian, Fujiwara armbar right in the middle of the ring. Not a lot of work done on the arm, and I'm not sure how good of a submission wrestler Dorian Bush is. Stormsong, tremendous athleticism and agility, and he's able to free himself. Dorian back to his feet. Stormsong gets him up onto the shoulders, and a stun gun as Stormsong tries to work his way into this match. Springboard Phoenix Splash. That might just do it. Springboard 450, Wolf Stormsong. We've seen him win matches with that before. Hooks the leg, and no! Dorian kicks out. Stormsong, he's got him up onto the shoulders. He's got him up. Go to hell! Yes, we've seen it from Wolf Stormsong right in the middle of the ring. No! Stormsong cannot believe it. Dorian Bush is alive. The fans love it. Stormsong realizing he's got more work to do. And for Dorian, he's got to get something going. Gets out of the way, diving double foot stomp. Stormsong trying to keep him away with more strikes. Snap suplex. Dorian did the right thing, rolled out of the way, but Stormsong was too quick. Springboard Phoenix Splash again. Dorian He had it read. He's smart. We heard it from Eugene. He got it. Now Dorian springboard. Phoenix splash. Dorian Butch turns Stormsong's own move around. No! Oh my goodness. The fans here in Atlanta going nuts. Dorian, oh, he was going for that throat. Going for the throat of Stormsong, but Stormsong with a leg lariat. High velocity took him down. Stormsong is going to walk out of here with the win. And more bitter disappointment for Dorian Bush. He will move on. He will be in the three-way dance, but this is not the way he wanted to finish. And it has to be a bitter pill for him to swallow. Stormsong, though, keeping himself safe out of that 7th place territory. You do not want to be there, potentially against Carter or Takahashi. So 2 men heading in different directions. But let's go now and show you highlights of Raymond Church versus Dr. Plague. And of course, when this match got set up, Dr. Plague had learned that he had been eliminated. Raymond Church fighting to stay in contention, stay out of that 7th place area, and boy did he. Dr. Plague got started off pretty hot using the strength, but as so many men have done, Raymond Church was able to answer, use his athleticism and speed, but this is maybe the most underrated part of Raymond Church's game, the strength to get Dr. Plague up onto the shoulders for a GTS, and Raymond Church joins Wolf Stormsong and Leon Redgrave with 18 points. Lots of chaos in the standings right now, and the main event still to come. But first, let's go backstage to our team captains. All right, Kurt, let's face facts. Neither one of us is getting out of here with bragging rights. We are going to end the regular season 30-30, both of us. So I don't know what you were expecting out of this, but it certainly seems like exactly what we figured, that both teams, all 12 rookies, are pretty much on the same level. Excuse you? I'm not going to leave here with bragging rights. Get the hell out of here, Eddie. I would like you to take a look at the standings. Okay, I just want to see. I want to look at this. I want to look it up. I gotta go onto my phone. I gotta go on Twitter, block Derek Cole, and oh, would you look at that? 4 of the top 5 are Team Kurt Andrews. So get out of here with your no bragging rights. All of your guys are down there having to compete in the 3-way dance. Well, I didn't want to be this guy, but the bottom 2 are both your guys, Kurt. And when Adonis Carter wins, when he beats Takahashi, he will become the #1 seed, first place. Ryan Skinner, #1 overall pick, the hardest man in the tournament. I mean, it is set up for Kurt Andrews, baby. And when Kurt Andrews becomes the Apex champion, you will not get your title shot, because it will be Adonis Carter, it will be Ryan Skinner, it will be whoever from Team Kurt Andrews that wins this tournament. Yeah, but isn't it bothering you a little bit that it's Team Hernandez versus Team Hernandez in the main event? You have no control over what happens to Takahashi. No, it doesn't bother me, because Franky Omega, I like the cut of his jib, if you know what I'm saying. I like his attitude, if you know what I mean. So absolutely not. No chance. He is more similar to me. He's more similar to a Team Andrews guy than he is to anyone on Team Hernandez. Well, I'll give you that much. Eddie, I do have a genuine question for you, however, because you and I both watched the product, obviously. So you and I both saw Satin, Cedric, and Lance Storm earlier. We saw them chatting a little bit. We saw them talking. Do you have any idea what that's about? I mean, all I can guess is that, you know, Lance mentioned a class, so maybe he's talking about one specific class in the GAW Academy, but I don't really know what Satin Cedric would have to do with that. And I don't know who they are. I haven't looked at the classes. I haven't looked at how they come out. So I really don't know. Well, I guess that makes 2 of us. Aren't you the one that's supposed to be keeping track of Satin Cedric? Aren't you supposed to know what he's doing? Why on earth would I know what Satin Cedric is doing? I respect him as the legend he is and what he's going to create, but I certainly don't keep tabs on him. I don't follow him around like I'm some bearded Mary Poppins. Get out of here. No, I just meant he's on your team, and you guys kind of got into it a little bit last week. Got into it, Eddie. Do you not know what alpha males talking to each other actually looks like? Probably not. Your wife's more of an alpha male than you are, but that's what it looks like. It's two men that want to win desperately, so it may have looked to the untrained eye as if we were getting into it, but no. We had drinks later on at the pub. We were absolutely fine. But my point is, I don't follow him around. I don't know what he does, and as far as I'm concerned, as soon as I become the Apex champion, Satin Cedric is in control of this team. I'll have bigger things to worry about at that point. Oh, that's real professional. I'm sure your team will love to hear that. Love to hear it. I told him myself. I said once I become the Apex champion, you men are alone, and they should be. You shouldn't be babied in the single elimination round. Eddie, you and I have both been there. We were in the Storm Chaser tournament. We know exactly what it's like to be in that position. You do not want to be relying on anyone else. Well, that is absolutely true. That might be the first correct thing I have ever heard you say with your own mouth. And whose mouth would I say it with? Never mind. I'm hyped for this main event. I'm hyped for our special guest coming up later. And I do not envy the rules experts that are going to have to figure out who is what seed. All I know is the single elimination tournament is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And for any of you who had me and Team Andrews being tied, deadlocked after all of this, go get yourselves a drink or something, man. This tournament has been just unbelievable. Exactly what I was hoping for, and it's only going to get better. As ever between the team captains, but Eddie is absolutely right. The fact that they are deadlocked, or they will be after this match. This, of course, is Team Hernandez versus Team Hernandez. They will each be 30 and 30 when this match is over. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy to think about this. Now you look at Franky Omega, he's already repping the RD7 on his jacket where many of his old training partners are. I just hope they stay the hell away from this match. Same blood red mask that he wore at Bash at the Beach. It's Takahashi, the man Franky Omega defeated in his first ever GAW match, but by the most questionable of means. And Omega is under strict watch now in this match. Not to mention his pride is on the line after getting chewed out by Eddie Hernandez last week. I think the last thing Omega would want to do would be to cheat again to beat Takahashi. I think Omega in his heart of hearts believes that he has the ability to beat Takahashi here today. And he will want to do it clean to make a statement. And by the way, if he does not, it'll be a date with Adonis Carter in the tournament. If Omega loses here, he will be in 7th place. Adonis Carter will be in 2nd. And that will be his opponent in the first round. Tell me if you want to be a part of that. I think Franky Omega would like to avoid it. 11 weeks ago, this tournament started. 10 weeks ago, this stage started. And now here we are. Franky Omega Jr. wasn't even a part of GAW when this thing began. Now here he is fighting in the final match of the group stage. Ryan Skinner was the #1 overall pick 3 months ago. Takahashi was Eddie Hernandez's first pick. Now Takahashi with the opportunity to finish in first. Ryan Skinner will finish in third. It's just unbelievable when you think about it. How quickly time has moved, how much we've gotten to know everyone here on Rookie of the Year. And make no mistake, oh my God, Franky Omega, he was going for the face with those claws. Takahashi did the smart thing, springboard moonsault. This will not be our last time seeing many of these men. I would expect all of them, regardless of how they finish, will have a place in GAW in the future. I think everyone can agree on that. Takahashi covered, kick out at 2. Takahashi was able to show off his incredible athleticism, one of the most under-talked about parts of his game. Now off the top, moonsault press. Franky Omega tried to roll out of the way. Takahashi had the range, but Omega went straight for the arm. And now Omega's gonna fly himself, diving leg drop. Cover from Omega, he came down right on the throat. Takahashi kicks out at 2. Now Omega, distance of the ring to cover. Springboard splash. And he is arrogant, you gotta give him that. But you gotta give him the fact that he's effective. He's a scary man, Franky Omega. No matter what you say about his tactics, and you can say a lot, but he's a scary individual. But on that occasion, it cost him. Takahashi used one hand to back him up into the corner. And now he's got Omega in a dangerous position. Bad spot for Franky. Takahashi is going to scale the ropes. Franky Omega understands the stakes, trying to free himself. It's not gonna work. The stomp, and Omega came down right on his head. Takahashi would go to the middle, rope and knee drop. Takahashi, how great has he been during this whole tournament? Now he's laid out Omega. Kamigoye cover, no! Takahashi thinks that should have been it. Instead, foot stomp and a kick. And Takahashi is taking control, courtesy of the strike. Springboard moonsault, he turned around in mid-air to do it. That is athleticism, it is elite, but it's a 2 count only. That is Adonis Carter levels of athleticism from Takahashi. And again going for that combination, but this time Franky Omega caught the leg. Omega saying, you will not bring that into my house, but again, Takahashi was too tough. He got up a lot quicker than Omega anticipated, and Takahashi made Omega pay. Kamigoye again. He puts a lot of mustard behind that, but Omega with a running drop kick. He went up, and Omega again just dancing in Takahashi's face, and Takahashi for a 3rd time makes him pay. Powerbomb position, powerbomb over the top. And now Takahashi is going to fly after him. Takahashi taking his time. Omega to his feet. Takahashi Meteora! Takahashi is putting on a show in Atlanta. In a revenge game. Franky Omega cheated him out of a win the first time. Takahashi will not let it happen again. Back into the ring goes Omega. Takahashi basking in the admiration of the Atlanta faithful who have watched this man become one of the most dangerous men in the world. Spinning heel kick. Good night, Franky Omega. Takahashi has locked up first place. performance. And that man will go in as the top seed, 9-1. One of the most dangerous men in the world. And he is in first. Before we show you the final standings, though, we'll show you here, but you look at right in the middle, 4, 5, and 6, 3 men tied with 18 points apiece. We will go right back to the ring for a three-way dance elimination. Leon Redgrave, Wolf Stormsong, Raymond Church to determine the seeding here because the tiebreaker has not affected anything. Church has beaten Stormsong, lost to Redgrave. Redgrave has beaten Church, lost to Stormsong. And Stormsong has beaten Redgrave, lost to Church. No tiebreaker, straight back to the ring. This was honestly not what I was expecting. To have this situation, a three-way dance early before we get the final one to determine the 8th seed. This is just for seeding purposes. So the last man standing, the winner here, will be crowned the 4th seed. The first man eliminated will be the 6th seed, and the man in the middle will be the 5th seed. And Leon Redgrave coming out here with a point to prove, obviously. The rest of the standings are set, as I showed you. But right now, and this, by the way, this is meaningful. So 2 of these men will meet. Numbers 4 and 5 will fight in the first round. But number 6 will have to go up against Ryan Skinner. So the first man eliminated here will have maybe the toughest test of the entire tournament, and that is saying a lot. Skinner is the hottest man going in Rookie of the Year, 7 consecutive wins. And he will be looking at his opponent for the first round. Raymond Church and Wolf Stormsong locked up a couple weeks ago. Church won that match with the show-stopping number. He will try to do so again here against Stormsong. And look at this, right on cue, double underhook, show-stopping number. Raymond Church, Redgrave watches on as Church hooks the leg. Raymond Church has eliminated Wolf Stormsong. And that means that Stormsong will be fighting Ryan Skinner. So now it's just for pride as Church and Redgrave go at it to become numbers 4 and 5. And Church, powerbomb, click, clack. It's Raymond Church. And Church hooks the leg of Redgrave. Raymond Church has swept this match in unbelievable fashion. Redgrave was upset by Alexa earlier, and Raymond Church showing just incredible resolve and a little bit of an edge as well. Raymond Church is the 4th seed. Wolf Stormsong will have to go up against Ryan Skinner. What a match. And so we present to you the final standings. Takahashi wins the group stage with a 9-1 record. Adonis Carter at 8-2, hot on his trail. Ryan Skinner finishes off the podium with a 7-3, and that's 7 straight wins for Ryan Skinner. Franky Omega Jr. is the last man in through automatic qualification, while Dash Foley, Alexa, and Dorian Bush will go to a 3-way dance to determine the last man in. So here is the tournament bracket. Takahashi awaits his opponent. It will be those 3 men in a 3-way dance. Elimination rules. Adonis Carter will take on Franky Omega Jr. Ryan Skinner going up against Wolf Stormsong, the loser of the 3-way dance that we just witnessed. And then the 4-5 matchup, Raymond Church versus Leon Redgrave, locking up once again. They're now 1-1. Redgrave defeated Church, but now Church got the better of Redgrave here tonight. Unfortunately for Marlon Wright and Dr. Plague, their tournament is over here tonight. But I think certainly given what Chris Sabin said to Marlon Wright and Chris Alexa last week, I don't think this is the last you will be seeing of those men. They will return to the GAW Academy, while the Rookie of the Year single elimination knockout stage begins after Battle at Broadway. So folks, there's only a little bit of time left before we get to the real nitty-gritty of this tournament to determine our Rookie of the Year. But before we leave you today, here is a special message from GAW legend and the only holder of the golden ring. It is Mr. Kenny Omega. Atlanta! I've spent a lot of time there, so thank you all for watching every week of Rookie of the Year. We heard it earlier. These rookies are the lifeblood of general admission wrestling, and so many of the greatest wrestlers in this company's history have come through those doors. Some of the greatest wrestlers in all of history came through those doors. So to the rookies, congratulations. We're all so proud to watch what you've done, what you've become, and what you will become. Watching the growth that Evolution has made and knowing that you all will join that incredible roster one day. So, for the 10 men who are still around, good luck. I've been in lots of tournaments in my life. G1 Climax, the most grueling tournament in the entire world. And I can tell you that there is nothing quite like a single elimination match. The fact that you have to win or go home, you will discover something new about yourself in those matches. I absolutely guarantee you. You will become new men during the course of this tournament. And some of you will rise to the occasion. And so, for those of you who can see yourself winning this tournament, for those of you that can envision the crown, the belt around your waist, and a one-way ticket to Evolution, all I can say is, buckle up. You are in for the hardest 4 weeks of your life. But for one of you, when it's all over, you will become immortal. You will be the man that we all talk about when we talk about the first ever Rookie of the Year show. There's been a lot of men in GAW who have made history. But one of you out there, one of the 10 rookies, 10 of the best in the entire world, one of you will become truly immortal in the next 4 weeks. So gentlemen, good luck, and thank you for such an incredible tournament. Goodbye, and good night. Bang.